Oh, Busta. What happened with Busta this
Yeah,
time?
so supposedly he did a tour. He had a performance at the Essence Festival,
Okay.
and unfortunately, as a lot of people have found out, there wasn't a lot. He didn't draw a huge crowd as he usually does. Usually, he would have everything the seats filled. This
Right.
time, people were saying half the seats were filled. Even though he tried to give a great performance, a lot of the even a few people that were there didn't seem that interested. They were a lot of people on their cell phones and so forth, to the point that he actually made this statement. He pretty much yelled out, forget them camera phones. Let's get back to interacting like humans. Put those weird devices down. I ain't from that era. Forget your phone. And this is mainly because I feel like he was kind of frustrated and kind of I would say hurt, but maybe a little hurt, because he thought it's going to be a packed of people and no one barely can see him. He probably felt like, I put in so much work in hip hop. Why am I not selling like Jay-Z or somebody else? So, but I don't know. Do you think that it's because of the cell phones? Like, when you go to concert, you bring yourself? You think that's kind of ruining the whole, aspect of the concert? Where people bring? What do you think should happen with the whole cell phones like that?
Well, but before I get into that, I think it's important for a lot of these, not just old school rappers, just old school musicians. You guys were big back in the 90s. You guys were big back in the 2000s. That was going 30 years and more ago. Okay, you can expect that at your peak back 30 years ago, those same fans are gonna be around and want to go see you.
I agree.
Busta, his last hit, man. Make it clap. I mean,
you're right. Pastor.
I know what I know what you want with Mariah. I mean, that was.
Ooh, you're right.
20 years ago, like
it's been a minute. I didn't even consider that angle.
We got a new generation. Even the way that they rapped back in the day is totally different. How they
rap. I agree. So, the beats, the way they carry themselves, they dress. I agree.
I think one, he has to just come to terms. You're not going to be selling out arenas like you did back in the day.
Exactly.
Also, me personally, I never really known Busta being a big live concert performer.
No, I got you.
I don't know. You tell me.
No, I agree. Like, same thing. I'm not sure if he's like in the past. I haven't been to, just so people know, I've never been to any of his necessarily concerts. I am a fan overall.
Yeah.
The 90s, 2000s. I mean, Busta was every record.
I mean, again,
he's great. He's put in a lot of work. Exactly. That's probably
put your eyes where your hands where my eyes can see. Like
exactly. We're like huge friends. Just for any potential stands in the comments, we are like supportive of Busta, but it's just a matter of like, just like X said, I didn't even consider that angle where like you haven't really put anything out for a while. That could be why it's like that. So out of frustration, he started yelling out to people in the crowd, put those phones. I don't even think that had anything to do with it, because normally whenever you see a big concert, Jay-Z or something, there's people there with cell phones. They're taking photos of, video of Jay-Z performing, and they're on their phone saying, "Hey, mom, I'm here," and so forth. You don't hear Jay-Z and them yelling out in the crowd, put those phones down. This is just kind of me. Like I said, I just felt like he was a little frustrated with the whole situation, but
taking it out on the audience. So when it comes to phones at concerts, I've gone to a few concerts in the past few years. So our last one was date night. We did Craig David, UK R&B singer. I took my camera out for a little bit, but after about 5 minutes, it felt weird, because it's like, why am I looking at my phone when I need to be in the moment?
I got you. You're already there,
having fun, vibing to the performer on stage.
I agree. It's like, if I want to watch on screen, I just go home. Like, but I'm here. I need to be in the moment, living it up. But just so everyone knows, there's also another angle to this that a lot of people didn't consider as well. To anyone who's been in these YouTube streets, you will find out that there was a little controversy surrounding Busta Rhymes, in which he made some disparaging remarks towards like the FBA community. If anyone that doesn't know what FBA is, that's Foundational Black Americans, which pretty much means the native African Americans that were born here, which means you don't necessarily come from, like, your family doesn't come necessarily from Africa or the Caribbean and so forth. And one of the comments he made was, that we have no culture. And a lot of African Americans were very offended by this. And even to the point where there's been a lot of talk about who actually created hip hop and so forth. And Busta Rhymes have been a big advocate for like a lot of not FBA, people and so forth. So a lot of FBA people got very offended by this because they're trying to say, you kind of worked within our culture and built yourself a career, but now you're not really being as supportive towards us. So as a result, a lot of people have been offended, and a lot of people, for the most part, say they're going to boycott a lot of his music. And I think that's probably the reason why the concert was so like empty, is because a lot of people are still upset and kind of upset about some of his comments. So you got to be very careful when it comes to like your supporters and so forth, which is why we always say we thank you all subscribing to us. We haven't forgot where we came from. Of course, we're going to tell the truth. We're not going to sugarcoat anything, but we are, very respectful. Like there's no reason to be disrespectful towards anybody. But I don't know. Do you think this could be one of the reasons for it, or what do you think about,
Well, I was gonna. So you're saying Busta specifically said that FBA, the Foundational Black Americans, don't have a culture? Like,
yeah, exactly. Now, it wasn't in those exact words, but it was kind of like paraphrased. That's kind of what he was getting at, because there's been a lot of talk about, for example, Michael B. Jordan. He had this company where he was going to have like some drinks, and he called it. He took a Caribbean term for it.
Sure.
So anyway, Nicki Minaj, all these people who had backlash, they say, hey, you're not from the Caribbean. Why are you using that term? You're still in our culture. So as a result, a lot of FBA people say, okay, you know what? We're going to take our own culture. We have, things like we created, hip hop. We have our own terms. We have our own dress. We have our own slang, so we try to now take ownership of a lot of that. So, so I guess there was some dispute about this, and he got to a point. And to be honest with you, it really came about when people talked about who created hip hop and so forth. So a lot of people trying to say like it's kind of like Hispanic culture and so forth. And so a lot of people brought up the point that you're benefiting from African American, FBA culture. And he said kind of to the effect of, what is FBA culture? There's like, what is that? There's almost like there's no culture for the most part. So as a result of that, a lot of FBA people got very offended by like his comment, and a lot of people said we're not going to support him anymore.
Okay, so this could be another reason for the light crowd.
Yes.
Okay. It's not just he had hits 20 years ago. It's because
exactly that plus the controversy. But I don't know. What do you think there's anything he can do to kind of build back up his base, draw more crowds? Maybe make a peace with FBA community. What do you think?
No, I mean, I think it was also, what was it? Was it Redman and Method Man? Yeah. I don't know. There are a few rappers a few months ago at a concert. I don't think a lot of people came out, or if they did come out, they were kind of just dead. Yeah. And they mentioned, yo, this is the last time we're going to do this concert. And again, I just think it's, when you're at your peak, you need to revel in all your success.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because you can't expect the kids now 30 years in the future to like your current they don't know the lyrics, they don't know who you are. You look like their dad, their grandpa. Like,
I agree.
I'm not gonna go to any Earth, Wind and Fire concert.
Exactly. I was just thinking about that Kiss concert or one of these other people. It's like
that's boring to me.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we understand, we salute you. We know you in your prime. Yeah, you were the man. Just like, we have our artists now who are the men and so forth. But just like you said, I didn't even consider the angle where like there's what generation. I think we're on Generation Alpha now, Generation Z, Alpha.
Yeah.
Your music. We don't know who. Like you said, we don't know who you are. We don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
And I know they might say, well, y'all need to go back in the past and look it up. But
no, thank you.
Yeah, they're busy with what's going on now, the current culture. It is what it is. Just like X said, whenever you have that time, you need to revel in it, hold on to it as long as you can, because you're never gonna get like that same type of love and appreciation ever again.
Now, one thing that Busta could do to, if he doesn't want to feel that a lot of people aren't showing up, he should take a page out of Craig David's book. So Craig David, he hasn't had a hit in quite a while too. Yeah. However, he booked the concert was at a theater. So it was much more cozy, maybe only 2,000 seats. So it was packed. Yes. So you know, it didn't have that image of, you know, empty seats or anything, because
I got you.
He knows, well, I can't sell out stadiums and arenas anymore.
Gotcha.
So maybe like, Busta should go that route. You know, maybe just do some local clubs.
No, I agree.
Lounges.
I agree.
Maybe I'm throwing a sexy night or something. I don't know.
I agree. And just like you said, and then maybe as people bring more people, they learn about his music. They say, hey, that's not bad. I want to, you know, hear this music and for it. But just like you said, at least with like Craig David, he's being like, he's kind of like mature. He's mature. Like I said, he's thinking very practical. Just like you said, okay, I've been out for a while. You know, besides like the fans I had back then, a lot of people don't know me now. So let me just, you know, at least perform for the people I can and so forth. Now, I understand sometimes people's pride, they kind of hurt a little bit because they like, I used to sell this. Right. I feel like I'm nobody. But the thing is, it happens to everybody for the most part. Like most people, just like you said, it's just not gonna be the same. New era, new beats, new music. Think about the way people used to rap back in the 80s and 90s. Like nobody's listening to that music now, and a lot of those artists was great for that time. So I know like right now they're probably doing touring and not gonna obviously make that much, but you know, just like you said, it's a new song. There's a new time. It is what it is. It's not much you can really do about that. But
Busta, so maybe next time don't yell at fans. You know,
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
If they want to, you know, bring their phones to tape you, you know, let them, because it can't be too picky.